Welcome back to the Smugzzy Show. I'm Smugzzy, your host, identifying as the Barstool Cougar. Every Wednesday we meet here, talk about important things and important people. This week's show will pay tribute to Steve Robinson, the former executive producer of the Kirk Minihane Show, who is homeless. We'll see what's up in the hood, Robin Hood, that is. And are you suffering from existential dread? Help is on the way. We'll wrap up the show with our latest Smugzzz ASMR, Lil Bamboo Lid. It's going to be a great show. Stay with us. The Smugzzy Show is presented by Smugzzz, sleek and elegant ciggies rolled in all-natural paper made with organic cannabis, locally sourced. Look for Smugzzz in the pretty marigold and indigo packs. Now offering a special Olympic edition, Twisties. Twisties are made using the same organic cannabis as Smugzzz, with a twist of lemon spritz and a sprinkle of cinnamon. For smokers feeling existential dread, twist up a twisty and chill out. Existential dread is a good segue to our segment on Steve Robinson, who now homeless Steve calls themselves homie Bobby. But the press release from the Cougars today, the Barstool fan club for women who like dogs, says, "It was with sadness we read that the former producer of the Kirk Minihane Show has been rendered homeless by the guy who calls himself Podcast Jesus." And what the Cougars read was the story by Zipporah Osai on Boston.com on July 29th, where she quotes Steve from Jamaica Plain, talking about managing life during COVID. So Steve from Jamaica Plain is quoted saying, "The case became that my very demanding boss, more than doubled my workload, causing me to become more stressed. Tack on my wife being laid off from her think tank job. Things quickly developed and I quickly got burnt out trying to make everything work," he said, Steve from Jamaica Plain. "Now being reduced to a one-income house, my wife, myself, and our dog Ziggy moved out of our apartment due to our increasing rent and income reduction. We were able to sell our cars, and we now currently live out of a camper van. I hope it's the case that this is just temporary." Smugzzy, the Smugzzy Show, hope so too. Homie Bobby, as many of you know, it was Steve Robinson, Steve from Jamaica Plain, Homie Bobby, who discovered Smugzzy. Now, obviously, the Smugzzy brand is huge, and Steve is homeless, so we'll never forget our humble beginnings. And in fact, it was December 3rd, 2019, when then Steve Robinson, now Homie Bobby, wrote on the Barstool Sports blog. You can check it out and read it yourself, or you can follow along with me in solidarity with Justin. I might just read what Steve wrote about me as a way to kind of honor him. So this is what Steve Robinson, a.k.a. Homie Bobby, wrote on the Barstool blog. "A former candidate for U.S. Senate in Maine threatened Kirk Minihane after his sidekick, Blind Mike, interviewed his own mother over Thanksgiving about the long-suspected edible ties between the pair. What the fuck does this even mean? I'll attempt to summarize this little window into Kirk Minihane's world." This is what Steve wrote before he was homeless. "There's a long-running joke on the Kirk Minihane Show that Blind Mike is banging his mother because, well, have you seen her? She's a fox. Over Thanksgiving, Mike decided to do a Periscope interview and his babe mom in hopes of laying some of these incest rumors to rest. Enter Cynthia Dill, former state lawmaker, former Democrat candidate, classic Steve. for U.S. Senate and current Portland area civil rights attorney. She's a total fame seeker who thinks she can get her own podcast views into double digits if she pokes Minihane. That's my favorite part. He goes on, well, mission accomplished. Dill published a podcast in which she admonished Mike and Minihane for putting Mama Geary's charm on display for all of Twitter. Okay, she's allowed to think Mike has no redeeming value whatsoever. It's a common opinion at Barstool. But things took a dark twist when the failed politician invoked the name of a certain activist who has for years tormented Minihane. Ooh. In large part, thanks to Smugzy's peacekeeping efforts, Bob Murchison has moved on to other causes, but beware, she said, Smugzy. Yeah, she. Nature abhors a vacuum. And then now we're back to Steve, or they, homie Bobby. So let me back up. This is on the Barstool blog. So let me back up a bit. Smugzy is Dill's alter ego, which she created just for Minihane. If you're not confused, you're not paying attention. There's a reason we call him King of the Crazies. Anyways, Dill, or is it Smugzy, was clearly making some vague threat to reignite activist pressure against Minihane if he didn't punish Mike for interviewing his mom about the alleged incestuous relationship. All of this is to say that part of today's 3-hour Kirk Minihane show included an absurd, rage-filled brawl between Minihane and a civil rights attorney who was pretending to be an imaginary character. Imagine that. Imagine like starting there and then just token intellectual of the Kirk Minihane show. Now, really, I think full bloom might be too strong, but sort of really, I think, developed the character as the Barstool, identifying as the Barstool Cougar. So it's quite a rise for me, and unfortunately not so much for Steve. But getting back to me, I mean, what an inspiration if you think about it. And that's why, to show our appreciation for giving birth to the Smugzy character and all that this is, all that we do. I mean, if you think about it, Smugzy is out there fighting every day to empower people, define yourself, write your own narrative, fuck cancel culture. So to show our appreciation for giving birth to the Smugzy brand, and the dynasty and all that, we're introducing Good Samaritan Smugzy, a new charity to support they and them folks like Homie Bobby. Look for the GoFund Steve or Homie Bobby tab coming soon on our website, syndicatemedia.net. That's syndicatemedia with a C.net. Okay, so Steve Robinson, Godspeed, God bless. We composed a little ditty in your honor also. We call it the Smugzy Psalm or the Smugzy Sonnet, whichever you choose. It goes like this. May your camper van tank always be half full. May the fish always be plentiful. And may Bitcoin soar in the wind where you be, Homie Bobby. I'm not crying. You're crying. You know what I'm not sad about? I'm not sad about being a Robinhood IPO share buyer this week. Remember last week? We bought the shares at $38 and they tanked. Well, this week they're up trading around $70. Up and away. Up 87% today. We'll see what happens next week, but not sad about that. Show updates. We have finally our classic line of merch is getting close to being finalized. We have a hoodie, a couple of tees, a hat. You're going to find that and all your favorite Smugzy show content in Smugzy Studio at syndicatemedia.net. The numbers for the show have been climbing. We've exceeded 250,000 viewers, which is phenomenal. Thank you to all the viewers and fans of this show. Tell your friends about the Smugzy show. And that's it for this week's show. But before we say goodbye. We're going to wrap it up. We'll snuggle up for a nap using our new Smugzzz ASMR technique we call Lil Bamboo Lid. Okay, ready? Just don't be scared. Okay, ready? I like that. I like that a lot. That little bit bamboo lid. I think. I hope you liked it too. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SmugzyGirl. Leave a comment, and until next week, this is Smugzy signing off. Take care.